So it's an AT Overland Habitat. So they're made, I think, in Arizona. There's a thing on the side. So it's a flip-top camper. So when it opens up, you can stand up inside. That's kind of the beauty of it. It gives you the 6.5 feet of floor space that you can walk around. You can sleep out here, which also can become great storage space when you're inside. You can throw stuff up there. So where a lot of them have the bed you have to fold out of the way or flip up, and all you can keep on it is your bedding. This one here gives you lots of space to throw stuff. So, and when it's closed down, it's kind of the same size as everything else. So that's kind of the benefit, or you know, for me, that's what I was looking for. And
all right, and everything in the back here is custom made.
Yeah, it's all handmade. I didn't make it. I bought it from a fellow in Ontario, and he did a great job. There's steel cabinets on both sides that are all lockable. And so I got water and battery. The toiletries is above the battery on the shelving unit inside, and then that's all on the right, and on the left is all clothing and bedding and stuff like that. A little tight for two, but you've got some venting on the sides. The front comes in, it actually has a bar that'll hold it so you can keep a gap in the rain and it won't rain on your head. And then at this end, the front will lift up like a curtain on the outside.
Okay.
And that gives you, and then you can zip that open. That one you can use for getting in and out in an emergency, or getting stuff off the roof of your truck if you wanted to. So yeah, this is what it looks like just after you wake up. Bedding everywhere, but
storage attic up there. It's very nice. It's
attic
tall
to
ceiling.
Throw your clothes and stuff. Get things out of the way. You can hang it's nice, you can hang your an iPad in it, and the white is gets out of the way enough that you can you could lay there and watch a movie. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's a pretty good setup. These guys really thought their stuff through. So
a little seat here.
Yeah, he built a kind of a handmade cushion his wife made for him, and my legs aren't long enough to use it properly, so I don't use it very often, but it does come in handy when you're getting dressed and stuff. So, and then he wired in, there's lights on the front over there, so which are all colored. You can change the color to white and blue and green. And then there's, of course, there's the red lighting that comes with it. And then he's got white lighting here, so for cooking. And there's more white lighting in the bed.
Okay.
So yeah, it was really well thought through when he built it. He did a great job. And this is all on a slide, so the fridge slides out. That pulls out.
Well, pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a convenient setup for sure.
Yeah.
And so when I bought the truck, that step was mandatory. It was one of the big things. I didn't want to have a case that I put out in the ground and left out all night to get in and out. So when I ordered it, I ordered the heavy duty package. It had to have rubber floors. It had to have the step. I probably would have picked the 2.7 liter motor, but this came with a 5 liter with the heavy duty axles and all that stuff, so it made a lot more sense. So, and of course, if you were traveling in the States, you could save a lot of money if you were running E85, right? Yeah. Basically, almost cut your fuel cost down by a third to a half. So
5 liters of V8.
5 liter V8, 400 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque, and 10 speed, and it's got 373s and an E-locker in the back axle, and it has a Torsion differential in the front axle out of the Raptor. So yeah, and it's just on a level with 2-inch level in the front with 34.5-inch tires. You know, 295/70 18 tires. So
single cab F-150. I don't see those very often.
Yeah, you can see it's a little wide for the trails we were on. We're getting
Yeah.
a little bit of pinstriping out of it, but
Yeah, especially last night. That's coming in here was a little bit tight.
yeah. But the thing with this is the wheelbase and stuff. It's basically the same size as a Wrangler Unlimited. You know, the four-door
The
Wrangler.
wheelbase, yeah.
The wheelbase is the same. It's a little wider, but anybody that modifies their Jeep like you, like your tires are wider than my truck.
As wide as mine, yeah.
Yeah. And so the 5-liter allows you to get a winch. You can put a winch, hidden winch in it.
Yeah.
So that makes it so that you have your winch, but it doesn't really show. Of course, they come with tow hooks, so unlike a Toyota, like a Tundra, it comes with the 2 rated tow hooks in the front. You have the spot in the back. These can actually be used with a high lift jack, so you hook under it with a high lift jack and you can lift your truck. So you don't have to add things to these. This is one of the benefits. Like, these trucks are $20,000 or $30,000 less than say a Wrangler Rubicon, and you get a lot more payload and stronger axles, and you get a lot of the stuff that you're looking for. Nobody uses them for overlanding, and I think I'm of the opinion that Ford should be marketing this as the ultimate overland vehicle, because they could be, when you build this like a heavy-duty payload package, like what I put on it to make it like that, they could be selling this with a 3,500 pound payload capacity on the sticker. So I'm actually working with an engineer right now to get a new sticker from Transport Canada that'll have the proper payload on it.
Okay.
So yeah, like when you're looking under there, you see that has the 9.75 inch rear axle, which is the same like a Dana 60. So that axle is actually rated for 5,300 pounds. So like a lot of the quarter-ton trucks are rated for between 3,000 pounds and 3,400 pounds on an axle. And so now those are Ford wheels. They're only rated for 4,800 pounds. So that takes the whole axle capacity down to 4,800. Right. So it goes by its lowest denominator. So, so you get a 3,800 pound front axle and a 4,800 pound rear axle. That's a heavy-duty payload package. But if you replace those wheels with the same wheels that Tang has on his truck, the Method wheels, they're rated for 5,300 pounds.
Yeah.
And so Ford could sell this with Method wheels on it, or fuel wheels. There's a number of companies that make high-rated wheels. Then they could get 5,300 pounds. This would technically be a 3/4 ton truck, because the total gross weight would be 9,100 pounds, right? The GVW. And that puts it right into a 3/4 ton truck territory, right?
All right. What's the gear ratio on the axles?
So they're 373s, and they're factory 373s. Of course, Ford offers 410s, 456s, and I think 488s. So you can kind of do, you don't have to go aftermarket. You can go right to your Ford dealer and get everything. Like any F-150, you can go in and get the Torsion front differential, right? Which gives you an auto locking basically differential. And it's really good because it'll lock when you need it to lock. It doesn't stay locked, you know, but it'll lock up when you need it to lock up, and it'll give enough turn. Like when I'm cutting a tight corner, it won't lock up, but it'll still give me the traction I need that the inside wheel won't spin. Right. So you know, when you lock a locker and you turn, that inside wheel has to hop. And so you're creating a situation where you're losing traction. And so with that, I think that's the best modification I've ever done to any vehicle I've ever owned, was that front differential.
Okay. Does it have a rear locker?
Yep, rear e-locker, so it's a button. So when you're driving, that's the only thing you have to think about. Like, is this situation, do I need a front locker? Is it going to be a problem if I have my front locker on? All I have to do is pull the rear locker out, push it back in. That's the only thing I think about. When I get on a trail, I lock it, and in the winter time on icy roads, you leave the rear locker off, but that front torsion differential, if the truck loses traction and starts to go out of line, the front torsion will actually give traction to the right wheel to steer it back and straighten the truck out. So it's kind of like riding a rally car, in the wintertime. So it's fun that way.
Any modifications up in the cab?
Not really, no. I did the Of course, in Canada, I added heated mirrors, but everything else is pretty much standard. I got a little camera up there that I just put in, and I usually have another camera, but that's about it. You get 3 seating, which is kind of nice, because if you were traveling the world as a couple, of course you get lots of space in there, but if you go into a country where you have to take a guide with you, you can flip the seat up and get 3 people in it. And so, as you can see, I living off the center console, but
Yeah, because there's no back seat, no space.
yeah, so you throw your stuff in behind the seat. There's not a lot of space in the back, but you know, you can stop on the side of the road and get a big meal at a, you know, at a roadside place, and you can eat right off the console, right? It's flat.
Yeah.
Got spot for two drinks, and yeah, 2 people can sit and kind of turn in towards each other and eat right off the console, which is really nice if you're traveling and it's raining and you want to have a bite to eat. And the whole floor is rubber, right? So when you, of course, you can just throw your junk in there and clean it out when you get to the next spot, which is nice. It's not too many trucks that you can get with rubber floors anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Have to wrap their line.
So, and this is kind of a work truck. My company uses this truck. I use it for marketing, but I also use it, you know, for towing trailers and doing whatever else needs to be done. Originally, the package is a snowplow package. So, once I wear the truck out, you know, when I decide that it's not, you know, it's not in the type of shape I want it for overlanding, I can use it as a snowplow vehicle, or I can sell it to somebody that wants it for a commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Contractor will want it, or a farmer will want it, or whatever. So when you buy these, you pay a whole bunch less, but then when you turn around to sell them, you can get a lot for them, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to need a good work truck, right?
That's right.
So, and it'll, like I say, it could have a gross vehicle weight of 9,100 pounds, but it also is rated to tow, when you get it on 4-ply tires, it's rated to tow 9,700 pounds. So with these tires on it, I don't know what the rating would go up to, but I'll never ever myself tow anything 10,000 pounds, you know. So it's all kinds, right? So like if we had a situation where somebody broke a drive shaft and the truck needed to be towed back to Moncton, we could just drag it or rent a trailer and I could tow it back, right?
Yeah.
So
Don't jinx us.
well, yeah. Yeah.